Okay, this was last night's homework. Again, our goal was to use slope in any point in order to write something in slope-intercept form or write an equation in slope-intercept form. You had one vocabulary word dealing with parallel lines. Most important part that you had to know about parallel lines is they had the same slope, so their m values would be the same. The first example says it's a point that passes through negative 2, 5 and has a slope of 3. So this is your x value, this is your y value, and this is your m value. You're just plugging them in their correct places. Y's value, y equals 5 equals 3 times negative 2 plus b. So y equals mx plus b. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. So 5 equals negative 6 plus b. Get rid of minus 6 or negative 6 by adding 6 to both sides. And you have b's value of 11, m's value of 3, y equals mx plus b. You just plug those values in. Leave y, leave equals, and leave x. And you just plug in m's value 3, so 3x. And positive 11 is plus 11. Let's look at a few examples you were responsible for last night. Oh, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. This is your x value, and this is your y value. Again, y equals mx plus b. In order to write it in slope-intercept form, you have to have a slope and you have to have an intercept. We have a slope. It's right here, negative 2. So that means we need to find a y-intercept. Y's value, we have it listed right here, is negative 6. So negative 6 equals m's value here is negative 2. X's value is here, so times 1, plus the only thing we don't have labeled is b. So we have to solve for b. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2 plus b, still equal to negative 6. And get rid of negative 2 or minus 2 by adding 2. Add 2 to the right, you have to add 2 to the left. Negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4 equals, these two will cancel out, b. So now we have a b value and we have an m value of negative 2. So we can write our equation. Y equals, leave a space, and then x, and then just plug your values in. M's value is negative 2, so we'll plug it in right there. So y equals negative 2x, and then b's value is negative 4, so we'll plug it in as minus 4. Y equals negative 2x minus 4. Do the same thing with this one, x comma y. Do a couple fewer steps here shown. Negative 2 equals 4 times negative 3 plus b, because we're looking for a b value. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12, plus b equals negative 2. Get rid of negative 12 or minus 12 by adding 12. Do the same thing to this side. And 10 equals b. So you have b and you have m. Now that's what you need to write slope and slope-intercept form. So y equals, leave a space, and then x. It will bring our value for m, which is 4, and we'll plug it in right there. And we'll bring our value for b that we just found, plus b is plus 10. So y equals 4x plus 10. And then for the last one on that first page for homework, x comma y, again, y equals mx plus b, so 5 equals m's value is negative 1 times x value is 4 plus b. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4 plus b. Get rid of negative 4 or minus 4 by adding 4 to both sides. 5 times plus 4 is 9. These will cancel out, equals b. So you have a b value and you have an m value, slope and y-intercept. So y equals something times x plus b. You just plug your values in. M's value is negative 1, so plug it in right there. And b's value is 9. It's positive, so we'll plug that in right there. So plus 9. And you can rewrite that. You don't need the negative 1x to show. You could rewrite that simply as y equals negative x plus 9. Example number 2 dealt with parallel lines. What you have to know about parallel lines is they have the same slope. Anytime lines are parallel, they have the same slope. So this equation right here, y equals 2x plus 1, its slope was 2. So your m value is going to be 2 on the line that's parallel with it as well, since it has the same slope. And that's what you can see. It says the given line has a slope of 2. Parallel must have a slope of 2 as well. This is still your x value and your y value, so that's what we're plugging in. Y equals mx plus b, so 5 equals slope is 2 times your x value is 1 plus b. 2 times 1 is 2. Subtract 2 on both sides, and you have your b value. So you have your m value and your b value. Y equals mx plus b. Plug in 2 in place of m, since that's what your slope is, and 3 in place of b, since that's what your y-intercept is. Y equals 2x plus 3. These examples, numbers 4, 5, and 6, were exactly like that. All you had to do is you had to understand that y equals mx plus b meant that that one's slope is 4, so your parallel line to it has the exact same slope. Y equals mx plus b, this is still x, this is still y, just like 1, 2, and 3. So 3 equals 4 times 2, m times x plus b. 4 times 2 is going to be 8, plus b equals 3. And when you get rid of that positive 8, you subtract by 8 to do that. When you subtract by 8 on both sides, you get negative 5 here equals, these will cancel, b. So b's value is negative 5, m's value is 4. Y equals, leave a space, and then put your x. So m's value is 4, so mx, m goes there, 4x, plus b, b's value is negative 5. So bring up plus a negative 5 is the same thing as minus 5. Y equals 4x minus 5. Okay, the toughest one up here to see is probably number 5. Since you can't see the slope, you have to understand that there's a 1 in front of that x. That means its slope is 1. Remember, if it's a parallel line, it has the same slope as that 1. So we'll use that value. Y equals mx plus b. This is still x. This is still y. So 0 equals 1 times x is negative 3 plus b. 1 times negative 3 is going to be negative 3. And then get rid of negative 3 or minus 3 by adding 3 to both sides. So 3 equals b. So you have your slope and you have your y-intercept. So y equals, leave a space and then put your x. Bring down your m value, which was 1. Plug it in right there. So y equals 1x. And then your b value, which is 3, positive 3. Y equals 1x plus 3 can be rewritten as y equals x plus 3. It's not necessary to show the 1. And then the last one, your slope is negative 2. So it has the same slope, again, because parallel lines have the same slope. So m equals negative 2, x comma y. Y equals mx plus b is negative 1 equals m is negative 2 times x is 1 plus b. Again, solving for b, just like the previous 5 problems. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. And get rid of negative 2 or minus 2 by adding 2. To add it to the right, you have to add it to the left. Negative 2 plus, negative 1 plus 2 is going to be a positive 1. So you have b's value and you have m's value. Leave y, leave equal, skip a space, and put an x. M's value is negative 2, so y equals mx plus b. We'll plug in m there as negative 2. And b's value is 1. We'll plug that in there, positive 1 plus 1. Y equals negative 2x plus 1. And then the last problem you had to do for homework dealt with example number 3. It says writing and using a linear model. The cost of parking in a municipal garage is a base fee plus $1.25 for each hour that you park. Your cost for 5 hours is $10.25. So it says write a linear equation that models the total cost y of parking in terms of the number of hours x. So it says the slope is $1.25 because that's how much it goes up each hour. And X comma Y is 5 comma $10.25. It's a point. That's a point on the line. So Y equals MX plus B. You just plug in those values in order to find what B is, or in order to find what your Y-intercept is. That's going to give you how much the flat fee is to park. You find out that your flat fee is in fact $4. So you have to pay $4 plus $1.25 um, per hour. So your equation winds up being Y equals $1.25. That's your slope times X plus 4. For number 7, it says write an equation. Um, it still comes out to be the same, Y equals 1.25x plus 4. It says estimate the total cost parking 7 hours. So you could have gone back and you could have found the y-intercept again, but it actually does not change. Use the same equation, y equals 1.25x plus 4, except instead of x, since that's how much time you're going to spend, y equals 1.25 times 7 plus 4. And 1.25 times 7 is $8.75 plus 4. So you actually wind up spending $12.75 to park for 7 hours.